good morning. Thank you for coming here this morning. This morning we're going to talk about a alert system, and it's an emergency and non-emergency alert system. And I'm going to turn it over to Alex Pelham here in just a minute. But I just want you to know that as we move forward, the thing that we want you to know about this system is called CodeRED, is that it's another tool in our kit bag for helping to drive and bring information to everyone who's connected to this system. The system is something you can download on your phone, and Alex is going to explain all the details on all this technology, but the bottom line is it's bringing to you, rather than you trying to reach out and pull it, it's coming directly to you if you've got access to CodeRED, and it's one of those things that's easy to do. Now, I do want to ask everybody that's here, how many of you have, one, heard of CodeRED? Have not heard of CodeRED? Okay, until today. How many have it downloaded on their iPhone or their phone or Android? No. Show of hands. None of you. Okay. I'm going to take two volunteers. I'll pick those volunteers right after we're done, and we're going to walk you through how easy it is. One's going to do it on a cell phone, and one's going to do it on a computer to your own, so you can sign up for it. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Alex Pelham. Alex is the manager here for the Emergency Operations Center. Alex.
Thank you, Dan. Again, Alex Pelham, Emergency Operations Center Manager. First, let me thank you for coming here today. I believe what we're going to talk about is very important, very paramount to helping our citizens, our residents, and our businesses become a little more involved and a little more prepared during this summer and moving forward. We're very happy to work with CodeRED. We're very happy to have this mass notification system in the city of Cleveland. We believe it's going to enhance what we can do moving forward. What is CodeRED? CodeRED's a mass notification system. Very simply, if we need to push out a message, one clear, one concise message from the city of Cleveland, whether it be Department of Public Safety or other entities, we now have a tool that we can push this out in an effective and an efficient manner. It provides us information mediums with our residents, but also with our businesses, our visitors, and people who may have loved ones in the city who rely on their care moving forward. So why would you get CodeRED? One of the reasons is an obvious one. During an emergency, the city, Department of Public Safety, and other partners want to be able to push the most concise, clear, and efficient information forward in order to make our stakeholders more informed. Another aspect of this that is oftentimes overlooked is weather alerts. We have severe weather alerts that are automatically built in. So if the National Weather Service pushes out a tornado watch or warning, flash flood watch or warning, if you're signed up in our system and you're in that geographical area, it'll automatically push that out. While we would obviously push that you have a redundant system, something like a NOAA weather radio or another means of communicating to and fro with the Weather Service, this will allow us to push information to you at 2 or 3 in the morning to keep you more safe and to keep it safer for our businesses as well. It also provides multiple mediums that we can push this information through. Classically, these systems that go on a reverse 911, as you may have heard, only push information out through a landline. That is something that we do not have a problem with now. We're able to push information through a landline, through a cell phone, through a text message, an email, and the mobile app that we'll talk about in a little bit. I do want to point out, though, that this is not just an emergency mass notification. Throughout the coming months, as well as now, there will be options for non-emergency communication groups, such as Public Works, the Department of Aging, wellness calls, that'll be available when you sign up, that you'll be able to push information out. One of the aspects with all those mediums that I really want to emphasize today is the geolocation portion of this. As you'll see in image 3 that we have up here on the screens, this example that I put together, a mock example, is of a train derailment. If we needed to contact our citizens, businesses, and visitors within this 2-mile radius to evacuate or shelter in place, we now have a function in place that we can go in and select a 2-mile radius and inform just those people. If it happens at 3 in the morning, we don't need to call every single resident, every single business that's in the system. We can now, in an efficient and effective manner, pull in everyone we need to do it without causing any alarm for someone who's not going to be affected. Who should register for this? This is probably the million-dollar question as we move forward, is who actually should be in CodeRED and who shouldn't. First off, I would say assume you're not in the system as it is now. So please, after you review this, after you go to the website, make a note to go in, register your information. The obvious is residents, people who live within the city of Cleveland. We want you to go in, sign up so that we can push our message, our information in any non-emergency or emergency function so that we can keep you better informed. Our business owners, we realize that not everyone who owns a business in the city of Cleveland lives in the city of Cleveland, as well as someone who may own a housing complex, someone who may rent a house. However, you still need to know what's going on with your property, with your business, to keep you informed for your employees as well as for your property. Some people may work in downtown or work in other parts of Cleveland that don't necessarily live here. However, if something happens in the city, you're going to want to know what's going on and if there are safety precautions that need to be taken. And lastly, if you have loved ones who may have special medical needs or other needs that rely on you to take care of them or keep up with them, register your phone number at their address so that you're able to have an up-to-date information platform. One other avenue that I want to point out on the last screen here, screen 4, is the mobile application. What this mobile application does is it allows you to have it on your smartphone, whether it's an Android or an iOS device. No matter where you are in the United States, if that jurisdiction uses CodeRED, it uses your geolocation and it will ping you as to if something's going on. If you're in St. Louis and you live in Cleveland and something happens in St. Louis, you'll get that alert. One point of emphasis that's very important is, as you may all know, we're going to have a large group of visitors coming this summer. If you happen to be here and you don't live in Cleveland, you don't own a business in Cleveland, but you want to stay up to date on what's going on in the city of Cleveland while you're here, I would urge you to go download this app. Again, it's on the Google Play as well as the Apple Store. It's a free application, and download it on your phone. That way you can stay better informed with what we have going on this summer and moving forward anytime you're visiting here. Again, I would urge you, don't assume that you are on this list. Please go sign up, get your contact info in, and even if you are on the list, you may have an outdated address, an outdated phone number. Go in and check it out. With that, I want to say thank you for coming. We believe this is a tool that will help us move forward in emergency communication and non-emergency communication with our residents, businesses, and stakeholders within the city of Cleveland. Thank you.
Is it a free app?
Yes, the application is a free mobile application at both for iOS devices and Android devices.
Any other questions?
Is this a way for the city to, for instance, a road closed and you needed to send out information? So it's good for everybody who comes around downtown, right? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. Everybody who has this application, if there's an accident or, as Alex said, a train derailment or something non-emergency even, but it will affect the way they have to travel and how they get around the city that would normally be their route, but they can't use it. It will give them that information and they can figure out for them what the workaround is for that. It just makes it much simpler for people and they aren't frustrated with, gosh, if I'd have known this was here, I wouldn't have gone this way. Well, it's going to tell you that.
Does it work on landlines?
Yes.
Okay, so like say you have a 2-mile radius and say there's 20,000 people in that 2-mile radius. How long does it take to make that 20,000 phone calls?
The system, and one point I'd like to bring out is before I came here, I used a system in Jacksonville, Florida when we dealt with hurricane evacuations. The system is a very quick system. I don't have an exact number for you, but I know it's less than a minute to make a call like that.
Per household?
No, it's less than a minute to get all 20,000 calls out. So it's a very efficient, very quick manner that these get out.
So with the targeted calls, do they actually read where your cell phone is physically located when you're trying to, say, like a train derailment?
So with that, there are two different methods. If you have the mobile application, it will go directly as to where your phone is. However, when you sign up, it asks you to sign up for, like Dan said, we'll show you that whole process. it asks you for a business address or a home address. So if you sign up with a cell phone, it will go by the home address that you sign up for on that cell phone. So if you live on 123 Main Street, but you're on the west side of town, it's going to go by where your home address signed up for is. But that's why you should also, in my opinion, download the mobile app, because you may live on one side of town but be on another, or work downtown and live on the west side or the east side, and that way you can keep up to date with everything going on.
So there's just people have privacy concerns when it comes to this kind of stuff. So how's the city protecting the information and, to make sure that that's, the sensitivities are kept in mind?
The data that we have is managed by ECN, which is the group that owns CodeRED, that runs CodeRED. The city, it is not their information, it is the city's information that we upload, and they process it.
Any other questions?
How much is this costing the city to use?
We would have to get back with you on that one, the contract terms.
Okay. Another money thing, is it pay per call or pay per use, or is it?
What I can tell you about the contract is that we have an unlimited account, so that if we did have to send out whatever the quantity of calls, that it's included in the contract. So there's not an upcharge for a frequency of calls.
Anything else? All right. I want my 2 volunteers so I can get you signed up. Somebody that's got a cell phone, doesn't have it downloaded yet, and then somebody go with Alex, and he'll show you how to sign up for the program with landline and your email address.
Thank you again.